Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Josh Halter, the owner and founder of the Biodude. Please visit my website, thebiodude.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and definitely subscribe to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about all of my substrates that I offer. I'm going to talk about how each one is unique in its own way, as well as what properties in the substrate make it an ideal substrate layer for your specific biome which you're replicating. And I'm also going to talk about how the unique properties of the substrate bring out the unique instinctual niches in your animals. So the first substrate that I'm going to talk about is my Terra Flora. My Terra Flora is designed for your very high humidity biomes, that have humidity 75% up throughout the day, and it typically doesn't drop lower than that. When you have a biome such as that that's really wet, you need a substrate that can hold the proper water in there for your plants to flourish and to prevent too much retention while shooting the water somewhere so it doesn't stay there and stagnate. And that's where the hydro grow comes in. So essentially what happens is all while the water is draining out of your substrate, it's draining into the hydro grow, preventing anaerobic bacterial growth in your substrate and keeping your water content perfect. So in this Terra Flora, as the water comes down and builds up from misting and developing, it ends up keeping the water exactly where it needs to and generating tons of air pockets, which are going to push all the excess water down. This provides your springtails and isopods a lot of places to go, which also helps with air pockets while breaking down essential biodegradables such as leaf litter, putting your nutrient back into the substrate. Now, what's also unique with the flora is that it does extremely well allowing your root systems of your plants to flourish over as well. Then we have the Terra Fauna. Okay, the Terra Fauna is similar to the flora, but in the aspect that it is meant to hold a lot more water, but drain a little bit less, while at the same time not becoming oversaturated and having larger air pockets to deal with that level of moisturization in the soil content itself. Now this is good to replicate neotropical environments, so environments that have a hot spot throughout the day, but then it has a humidity spike a couple times throughout the day. So when we're talking with the Terra Fauna, you do also need the hydrogrow drainage layer to make sure that you don't get any bad anaerobic bacterial growth. So when we're looking at our Terra Flora, it works great for animals such as dart frogs, tomato frogs, different types of toads, salamanders, red-eyed tree frogs, white tree frogs, the list goes on and on with what the flora works for. But when you're dealing with the Terra Fauna, you think of animals like Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, different types of anoles, day geckos, chameleons, tokay geckos, banana geckos. The list goes on and on of the different animals that use that climate that this substrate works best for. What makes both of these so unique in their way is that it really allows your live plants to grow well without a lot of work on your end. So with that, that gives your animals a more natural environment. It also gives them an organic substrate that consistently cleans itself with the use of springtails and isopods and BioShot to make sure you have a healthy ecological balance in your tank. And that is what we're about, providing the cleanest, best husbandry for your wild animals. Now, the next two levels of substrate that you see before you, here is my terra firma. So my terra firma substrate is a lot more dense. It does not need a hydrogrow drainage layer. What it needs is a solid 4 inches. I would say 4 to 6 of a good base layer of firma is what works best when you're using it in itself, which is as directed as you should. The firma will hold all tunnels. So if you provide your animal a nice 4-inch to 6-inch layer, if you have an animal like a corn snake, or if you have an animal like a fire skink that love to create a bunch of burrows and tunnels, the firma will keep all of them. It brings out the natural instincts of your animal to burrow, to create dens. Those dens and burrows are humid hides, which helps with shedding, respiration, and hydration, which is extremely important for your herps. What makes the Firma so unique with the use of springtails and isopods is that since it doesn't need a drainage layer, it has the consistency of a very, very loamy type of substrate, but has the air pockets big enough to have air and water exchange from the top all the way to the bottom. The top layer of the Firma will almost always be dry, leaving the middle and the bottom layers moist, which is perfect for your live plant growth. It's perfect for your springtails and isopods. It's perfect for your BioShot to do its job. And what all of that does together is create your self-cleaning, self-maintaining ecosystem that helps bring out the instincts of your animals by allowing them to do what they love to do, what makes them animals. Then we have the Terra Sahara. And Terra Sahara is a one-of-a-kind. It's a one-of-a-kind because how it works, it stays really almost dirt-like in the bottom and middle layers, and then turns into a more of a loamy, rocky top content as it dries. It retains all tunnels and burrows that your animals dig, and what do desert animals love to do? They love to dig. So essentially, what'll happen is you have a good solid deep layer of the Sahara like you would for the Firma. And the Sahara stays completely dry at the top, but retains moisture in the middle and bottom layers, which is great for your succulents, your cacti, and other low water growing plants. And what's great with that is a lot of the animals that you keep on the Sahara are herbivores or omnivores. We love to plant healthy edibles in the Sahara, such as basil, mint, oregano, opuntia, varied succulents to allow your animals to instinctually forage for food, which allows them to tear apart a cactus. You can see my bearded dragon video that I uploaded about when I first opened up the channel. So with the use of the springtails and isopods, the Sahara keeps all those necessary air pockets while having air exchange from top to the bottom, while keeping the proper moisture content for your animals. Now, when you're dealing with your Firma, since it is more like a temperate forest type of biome, you're dealing, with a lot of your different colubrids, king, rat, milk, corn snakes, your ball pythons, your monitors. If you have monitors or tegus, I actually have had a couple people put almost a 3-foot layer of my Firma in there, and their tegus just made these massive, ridiculous tunnel systems. It's fantastic. You can use it for your frilled dragons, your tarantulas, your invertebrates, your blue-tongued skinks, your fat-tailed geckos, the list goes on and on. For your Terra Sahara, that is your arid, dry environment, or rocky environment. This isn't replicating sand. The Terra Sahara has almost no sand in it. It's just to let you guys know. Leopard geckos, bearded dragons, uromastics, some rattlesnakes, agamids, some tortoises, some tarantulas. The list goes on and on with the Sahara. And what makes the Sahara so unique is you can give your animals something completely edible, which is plant something completely edible that's going to keep growing and nurturing the tank as it matures, while giving your animals instinctual activities to do, enrichment. And that is what I am about, guys. That most of our animals that we love to death, they are still wild animals, and it is important that we as hobbyists nurture their natural instincts in captivity to make them feel more at home, so we can see the thing before our eyes that makes them so unique as an animal. And that's what the dude's about. Again, guys, my name is Josh Walter. I am the owner of the Biodude. I really appreciate everyone taking the time. The dude abides.